A competitive evaluation is a type of research method to determine how your company's product or service performs in relation to your competitors' products or services. The goal is to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of competitors and take an in-depth look at how other people are solving the same design problems. However, it's important to note that there are two kinds of competitive evaluations. You can do a competitive review, which is typically an expert review, meaning an experienced usability practitioner evaluates multiple competing designs based on specific criteria and known principles of usability and behavioral science. Or you can have competitive user research, like competitive usability testing, which is when researchers observe users completing realistic tasks on multiple competing designs. There are trade-offs to doing a competitive review and trade-offs to doing competitive user research. Competitive reviews are an attractive option because they don't require a research plan or research participants and therefore don't need dedicated research time. Instead, time can be spent on analyzing competitors using those frameworks and past experience, which makes it really time efficient. However, in the absence of user data and past experience with representative users, they can lead to highly biased outcomes. And in the worst cases, they can perpetuate unfounded assumptions. Expert reviews are called that because they actually depend on past research knowledge and experience. So if you're new to the UX space, or if you lack user data to begin with, then you may want to steer clear of this method unless you have a lot of supervision and guidance from other experienced researchers. And even then, it might be best used as a starting point for future focused research efforts. Competitive testing can lead to more objectivity in the evaluation process because you have realistic tasks generating tangible user data, which is especially important in the absence of data or experience. However, they do typically need a lot more time to complete because you have to do a research plan. You need to recruit users. You need time to actually run the studies and about the same amount of time to analyze the study data. And depending on how many competitors you plan to evaluate, that can make your study balloon in size and in length, making for a particularly complex study plan. So it's often best to narrow to 2 to 4 prioritized competing designs. Competitive evaluations can technically happen at any stage of product development, but often make the most sense early on as a jump-off point for further research and design efforts. Even if a product technically has no rivals or competitors to speak of, these can still be valuable, though in those cases it's often referred to as discovery research. The reality is, if you have a competitor or if you don't, there will always still be a competing solution to the problem you'd like to solve, whether that's a true rival or just an alternate way of addressing a user need. For example, if we pretend for a moment that ride-sharing applications didn't exist yet, and we had the next Uber or Lyft in mind, then technically we would still have competitors, taxis, car rental companies, and maybe even very generous friends. So if your team wants to ensure the best possible outcome, be it with a brand new solution or revamping and improving an existing design, knowing the space you're getting into is just as important, if not more important, as knowing what you're getting out of a design project. But remember, look for opportunities beyond what other people have to offer. You don't want to copy the competition. You want to beat them.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of our UX videos, take a look at these over here and consider subscribing to our channel. On our website, nngroup.com, you can access our free library of over 2,000 articles. You can also register for one of our UX courses that offer live hands-on UX training.